cold in here.
Do you like your face? She says. After I take the picture. Do you like your face? Hey guys, this is a very exclusive live stream. We just decided like 10 seconds ago to tell you the information that we have been reluctant to tell anybody, really.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wait for a couple more people to, let me just get flirped in here. We'll wait for a couple more people to get in here, and then, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll get started with our chat.
Yeah. Do you guys...
Hello from Ohio. Hello. We also were just trying to figure out how many people...
Hi, Shane.
Because
Anya.
YouTube says most of the people that watch us live in California, actually.
Yes.
And I was like, but nobody on the live stream ever says hello from California. So at some point today, when we're at our peak, I'm going to figure out how many people are actually from California.
Well, I see D Silva in here, so she's definitely from California.
Montreal, Scotland,
cool.
Chicago.
Yeah, let us know where you guys
Ohio.
are from. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
The bus bombs.
Colorado Springs.
You guys were from Ohio.
I don't know if you know this, but we are from Boulder. That's where we met. She's actually born and raised in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Colorado.
We're super excited to be in here, guys.
I haven't seen any. Hey, Paul. I haven't seen any.
Hello. Hi, Paul.
California yet. That's so weird. Maybe California watches our videos but doesn't join our live streams.
Yeah, from our analytics, California is the state that watches our videos the most, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday. It's been kind of a whirlwind for us the past week or so, but in a good way, and we're excited to kind of tell you guys what's up and also answer any questions you might have. I just love live streams.
Live streams are awesome. Sorry we weren't here last week. We were down at the beach, as you saw in our video, and we didn't have any service, and we also found out that it was Super Bowl Sunday. We had no idea.
Yeah, my mom told me, so I was like, I guess we won't do the live stream.
Yeah, by the time we were actually able to sit down with a laptop, the Super Bowl was at like halftime. So we're like, well, there's no way we're gonna.
Do people still watch the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I feel like football is dying off, guys.
Do. My family does.
All of my friends are like, I don't care about football anymore. My stepdad used to love the Steelers, and now he's like, I don't really watch football anymore. It's too loud.
Me too. I used to watch the Steelers all the time. Like, Super Bowl was probably second biggest thing to Christmas in my family, and watching football every single Sunday has been like a thing after church Sunday since the dawn of time, and I'm pretty sure my mom still does that.
I think people are tired of seeing the Patriots at the Super Bowl too.
Yeah,
it just gets really old.
We have someone from Los Angeles, Dale Payton. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to meet up with Paul. It's awesome meeting up with you too, man.
Yeah.
Really good to meet you.
Yeah, we are. We have 40 people in here.
We'll wait till we. Virginia.
Virginia was awesome visiting. Oh, we have a little wet cat. It's raining like crazy out here. But
we wanted to go out.
When we were traveling across the East Coast a couple months ago, we went to West Virginia, and it was gorgeous. Virginia was really, really pretty too. But yeah, we've only barely scratched the surface, I feel like, on that part of the country.
Yeah. West Virginia is a little treat. You don't expect it. It's kind of like Colorado Junior. It's those rolling hills, you know, the more romantic valleys and stuff like that. And Colorado's like that. Whoa.
Oh, thank you so much, D.
D Silva.
Thank you.
So
How does
much.
this happen while you're driving?
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's insane.
D's like our bus life mama. Honestly, that's what we call her. She's our bus life mom.
Thank you.
She always knows exactly when we need her, so to speak. D's awesome, and we can't thank her enough for everything
so appreciate that. Yeah, that's crazy. I wanted to really quick say hi to Doug from Alabama. But yes.
Good morning.
That's amazing.
Anyway, kind of forgot what I was saying. So we just got up and both pretty tired.
$100 donation kind of makes us stop for a second. So thank you so much. That blows my mind how you're driving a truck right now and like managed to make this happen. It's crazy.
It is. I'm gonna do a documentary about you. I really want to get into documentary.
Let's talk about that before we get into the bulk of it.
Okay.
Because that's a great idea. Yeah.
There are multiple documentaries that I really want to do and I really want to get into. Real quick, go ahead and mash the like button and YouTube will push it out to more people.
Yeah, thanks guys.
I really want to do documentaries. I just love, we've been watching a lot of random ones. We've been watching the fire. I don't know if you guys have seen the Fire Festival ones.
Weird.
That disaster. We've been watching tons of documentaries for, I've always enjoyed. Oh, okay.
Come on, Tab.
Come
on.
1 second.
Come on, Boo.
She's really wet.
Tabby, come on. Either come
or
don't.
All right, so I'll keep talking and hope that this doesn't interrupt us too much.
All right, sorry, keep going.
So anyway, I've been really intrigued by the style, the cinematography of documentaries, and I really want to film a documentary. There's one in particular that I want to do, which is, well, let me tell you guys a story real quick. When I was 17 years old, my dad abandoned my family and just moved to Cancun, Mexico.
Him and his mom had been married for
25 years.
Yeah.
My sister was moved out. She was 19 and I was actually 16, and he just up and left, right? Just completely moved to Cancun, stole his car and moved to Cancun, Mexico. When I was 19, I forgave him for all that nonsense and moved down to live with him for a year and get some answers, figure out what would possess somebody to do that. I had no idea that was be the last time I'd see him. 6 years later, he was drunk and wrecked his car and bled out internally and died in Mexico. And I never got to see him.
That's what we know.
And there's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of information that I want to know about my dad's life when he was down there. What was he doing? What was he, he was a really great man. He had a really fantastic heart, but he had a really terrible head. And that might be the best way I can put it.
I think substances were kind of something that troubled him his entire life.
I want to do a documentary where we travel around. There's a lot of people spread all over this world that knew my dad and knew him both in the good times and in the bad times. And I want to do a documentary, driving around, kind of getting the answers.
Yeah.
I don't really necessarily expect answers, good answers or even answers at all. But I think just the information's kind of cathartic. Okay.
Sorry, this is losing a bit of its intensity with the cats. We're going to have to make sure the cats are just not in the documentary. Or just make a whole separate one for them. So anyway, we thought that would be really cool, as people who make YouTube videos for a living as one, well, that rain is serious, as one facet of what we do, trying to think about innovative ways that we can keep the content engaging, not only for you guys, but for ourselves as well, is really important. So doing this documentary to find the answers to your dad and being able to document it in like a little mini series to you guys just sounds like an amazing
That'd be awesome.
idea.
We're going to do it. Another documentary we want to do is just kind of the Living Zeal story.
Yeah.
Eventually I want to do a documentary and maybe try to sell it to Netflix.
Who knows, guys? We're dreaming big.
Yeah, because Expedition Happiness did their whole thing and sold it to Netflix, and yeah, they moved from Germany, and that was a big move, and then drove down through the States, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
But in the end, they moved back into a house, and it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth a little bit. It's just kind of like, that's not a great bus life representation. Yeah. And I feel like the Living Zeal story is pretty epic. Like, we just quit our jobs, moved into a bus, sold that bus so we could do it again in Hawaii, and now
humble as well.
Yeah, but there's a bigger part of the story that we haven't told you guys yet. I guess 50 people are in here, so
yeah, I guess let's talk 51. About it a little bit.
We'll indulge.
Yeah, the reason for the title.
The reason, in order to make this documentary, in order to do everything that we want to do, we can't be here in Hawaii.
We're coming back from Hawaii, guys. Our patrons know because we've already told them like 2 weeks ago.
On the podcast.
Yes, but yeah, we are making moves to come back from Maui, and yeah, like we have it all kind of planned out. We know what we're doing, and it's been kind of bittersweet, I'll say.
Yeah.
There are a lot of reasons for coming back, but mostly it's been an incredible experience, and it's crazy to think like we started working towards coming to Hawaii in July of last year, started to got the job at the restaurant, started to save $10,000 in 8 weeks by working all the shifts.
We both got a job at the exact same restaurant, if you weren't following us then, and we're able to go in, park the bus in the parking lot, and just go to work.
Literally
pick up shifts, just work as hard as we could to make as much as we possibly could.
Yeah, so we did that for about 2 months, and saved all the money that we needed, sold our last bus, kind of full steam ahead. We're pursuing this, and it was really just a bucket list thing for us. We always wanted to live in Hawaii in a bus. I've always wanted to just visit Hawaii in general, and I think that I had a big question coming here, more so than you maybe, I don't know. I felt like, living in a bus is awesome and fun and great, but eventually, like, truly, it's amazing. But eventually I'm going to want to have a place to plant my feet in order for us to like have a kid or whatever the case may be, just to have that security
when we were coming here. So we kind of came here with the question of, will Maui be our new home? And is it going to be somewhere that we want to settle down and have kids? Because we do see these massive YouTubers, Ellen Fisher in particular, who has inspired us to, because she does the exact same. I know. She does the exact same lifestyle. She unschools her kids. She is completely vegan. She's fairly minimal.
Yeah.
So seeing that, we were like, well, she does it and her life looks fantastic. So we had the question in the back of our, not even in the back of our mind, in the front of our minds the entire time we were here. Got answered very quickly.
Yeah.
We realized that, oh my goodness, no, this is not. And one of the main reasons isn't because Maui's really expensive and inaccessible. The main reason is because
a small reason.
That is a small reason. That is definitely a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But the main reason is because we don't want to start our family so far away from our family.
Yeah.
Like my mom, love you, Mom. I know you're probably watching this. She just went in for testing because they found something wrong with her heart. Mm-hmm. And like told me about that. Was like, I don't want to worry you. And anytime your mom says that, you're like, well, whoa, I'm worried now. And I don't know if you guys know me, I love my mom more than anything. Like it's
so much
Zaynah, my mom,
more than me, even, guys, more than Tavi, more than Akina.
I love Zaynah more than my mom, but my mom, they both get unconditional love from me. So anyway, if anything happened to her, having just told you guys what happened to my dad, I already lost him and hadn't seen him for years before he died. But if the same thing sort of happened to my mom and I was here in Hawaii, I would never forgive myself.
Yeah.
I want her to be a part of our childbirth. I want her to be a part of all that because she deserves it.
Totally.
So does your mom, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was kind of a really big thing for us. I was hoping, never mind, I'm just going to put this bag up. That was a big decision maker for us. And then also, yeah, I think, the cost of living is so high here. And that's before you're like, yeah, I told you so. We knew it would be really, really high.
I lived here for a year in 2011.
Yeah, we expected it to be really, really high. I guess I just anticipated that our finances from Living Zeal would rise to the occasion quicker. And what we found being here was a couple things. And I don't think we've talked about this on a live stream, but we came here with the intention of like, we want to come here for a bucket list thing. And also what a great opportunity to make awesome content for Living Zeal. Like it's Maui, it's Hawaii. We're going to make so much great content. And what we realized from looking at our analytics and our subscribers and the views on our videos was that what we're doing here is so unrelatable to the majority of people wanting to do bus life and van life. So the majority of people who are interested in this lifestyle are never planning on living in a bus in Maui or in any of the Hawaiian islands.
My mom said yesterday the most profound thing. She was like, well, you guys were just proving a point.
Yeah.
She was like,
to ourselves.
Yeah, you're proving a point to yourselves and to the world that if you want to do something, just do it.
Totally. If you want to have an experience, then just do it. Because money is not what got us to Hawaii. Obviously, we needed money to get to Hawaii, but we always had enough to take us to the next place and to take us to the next place.
And now, like we need to go back. And to answer your question, Michael, we are shipping this bus back. And the amount that it costs to ship this bus back is actually the exact amount that we're getting back from our tax returns from that restaurant that we worked at. So that restaurant, we went and got this job for 2 months in the summer to move here, and it got us here. And now it's time for us to go back, and that exact same job, the tax returns from that job are taking us back.
Kind of crazy. Yeah.
So if you're supposed to do the right thing, and sometimes that is against what you think you're supposed to do, which was for us like going out and getting jobs. We always said, Living Zeal is going to take us there, and you have to break out and sometimes
diversify,
do what you don't want to do to make it. And this work exchange is another good example of that. We learned a lot about the bus life that we really want to live.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to say hi to Darling.
There's a lot of people in here. Hey, 90.
Yeah,
wow,
thanks,
hey guys.
Thanks, guys. Definitely make sure to like this if you want to.
Thanks, Doug. Maui bucket list. Maui, done that. Exactly. That's how I feel. It's been 4 months, and we've really had a great time here.
Yeah, we came here on October 3rd, and we had like the first 6 weeks that we were here. If you guys go back and watch those videos, we were essentially we were daily vlogging when we first came, and we were basically just vacationing. We had a condo to stay in for free and a car to use for free in exchange for making content for Camp Maui X. And that was a really amazing experience. My best friend came and visited Shelby. And then when we came back with cats, it's been like hardcore work exchange, which has been amazing with this family. Super awesome people.
Such an amazing experience.
It has. It's
just the whole thing.
The whole thing has been an absolutely incredible experience. Lanessa just popped on, so I'm gonna have to tell her again. Lanessa, we're shipping the bus back to California. We are shipping it from Kahului to Oakland, and we're actually going to be staying with some awesome friends for 2 weeks in there. They have like a guest bedroom in their basement. They're going to let us stay in with our cats for 2 weeks. Yeah. And then we're going to wait for the bus to arrive in Oakland, and then we're on the road again. And we don't know. We do
know one thing we're going to do that we're very excited about. For one, we're going to go back with an open bus. Basically, we want to do collaborations. We want to meet up with as many of you guys
as possible,
as many other bus life channels, other people in our niche period.
Yeah,
and we just want to start doing as many collaborations as we can because the community is freaking amazing. Like, it's funny that it spreads through so many generations, like the people wanting to do van life and bus life, and we just want to meet up with as many of you as we possibly can. So one of the people that we've already lined up a meeting for, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Derek and Hannah. It'd be the High Vibe Tribe.
High Carb Hannah, yeah.
High Carb Hannah and Derek, Handyman. He does all off-grid stuff. He really into solar homesteading. They have a tiny house that they built together. She's a vegan. She's inspired Zaynah to maintain her diet for years. Yeah. So anyway, we got in touch with them, and they're like, we'd love to do a collaboration with you guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on their podcast. So that's one thing we're going to do as soon as we get back is probably going to bounce around California for a little bit and then head to Arizona to do that collaboration with them.
And then Chad doesn't have his passport yet, so we were thinking about going to Baja, but it obviously takes time to get a passport, so we'll see what happens with that. And then we plan on kind of going back up to Utah. We've never been to Zion. As it warms up, Chad's not super stoked to go back to Colorado quite yet, but I definitely
in February.
No, not in February, but when it's summertime, like May, June, I definitely want to go back to Colorado. Yeah. And there's so much to do in the summertime in Colorado. It's like mind blowing.
Our last bus, we loved Thomas.
Montana, Idaho.
We loved our last bus. But it was extremely limited. The chassis was, I don't really know how to put it. It was like an old Buick. You hit a bump and everything is shaking for a long time. And we just couldn't take it anywhere. We got it stuck in the desert just trying to go to some BLM land.
The engine was so loud.
It was incredibly loud.
Literally gave one of our cats PTSD, and she's ridden in this bus and it's so much better.
7.3 liter turbo diesel.
So loud.
We had just the E350 Super Duty. It's not even diesel, which I'm not super thrilled about because of the towing, but we've tried to keep the weight down on this, and I think it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a very different experience. We can both sit up front and talk to you guys. Hey, Judy. Sorry, Zaynah's mom just popped in. It's kind of funny because when we got this bus and we parked it here and started converting it out about 3 months ago, we both looked around the bus and had this thought that was like, man, this is the bus that we wanted. This is the van bus, whatever. It's like a van bus hybrid.
It is, yeah.
This is shorter than our old vehicle that we really wanted when we were trying to manifest something to travel in. And now we're just going to stay here. Like, we felt kind of dumb a little bit.
Yeah, there have definitely been multiple sides of this. And we spent a lot of time, I think Chad and I both pride ourselves on that we try to think things through very thoroughly. So we try to put ourselves in position of like, what is it going to be like as soon as we get back? And, what are we going to do? And are we going to miss leaving here, and try to kind of go through the motions? And we really feel confident about this decision.
Yeah.
However, we got into a little bit of a fight yesterday because I think both of us are a little nervous. We were fighting a little bit when we came to Maui because it's scary to take risks sometimes, but that's just human fear. And it's always taken us, when we've pushed past it, it's always taken us to more beautiful places than we could have ever imagined. So we're all about overcoming fears and definitely not letting fear stop you. But we're still humans, and we still have no idea really what's going to happen in the future. But that's all the kind excitement of exciting.
That's the point of it all. It's fantastic. A couple comments I just saw. Yes. Frederick Coyle, the guy who bought the bus, Fred, great to see you, Said that Thomas Zeal is pretty quiet now. He soundproofed the entire bus.
Cool. That's awesome.
I love that you named it Thomas Zeal. That's amazing.
So funny. That's awesome.
That really is. We got to come out, and when we're out that way, we're gonna stop by and visit you guys
South Carolina.
see the old bus.
For
see what
sure.
you've done to it, because we certainly aren't professionals, and I know you've realized that more and more as you've looked around the bus.
Yeah.
But we were so grateful that it went to a good home.
Absolutely. DeSoba, or not DeSoba, Lanessa, White Dove bus. You get these two wonderful women mixed up sometimes in the comment section. Sorry. Lanessa said, OMG, I will come down to the hood and take you guys out for a beer.
Please, we were definitely going to meet up with you, Lanessa. Lanessa is our second bus life mom.
Yeah.
She's amazing. We absolutely love her.
She is amazing. So, I
don't know if you guys can hear
Brian
that
Knight,
rain.
thanks for your comment. Someone says, Paul, I think you could do with a bigger bus. You know,
it's funny.
When
tell them about what we wanted to get.
We wanted to get a van after our last bus. We were kind of sick of not being able to go to certain locations, and especially in Colorado, a lot of the free BLM land to camp and park on was not accessible in our old bus, or it was accessible, but scary as hell to try to do that. So we wanted a smaller vehicle that would be easier to get in and out. And we realized that, you know, it's no issue to live with smaller space as long as we have the height to be able to stand up in here. That's kind of all we care about. So this vehicle is the dream vehicle. It's amazing. And we honestly
drives like a van. It really, when I'm driving it, it just feels like I'm driving a van. It actually kind of drives better than a Sprinter van. I've driven Steve's, and Steve's is great and has a lot of torque and a lot of pickup.
Sprinter?
Yeah. But there's something about this that feels cozier.
Yeah, I think it's because
it's easier to drive for me. I don't know why. I don't think it's Sprinter vans are really tight and precise.
Yeah.
They're almost like a little car.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's really great. But sometimes you forget you're driving a big vehicle. And I always kind of want to remember that there is a big back end that I'm swinging around, and it doesn't really feel huge. It holds the road so well, but you always remember that you're driving something
totally
special.
Yeah. I just want to read a comment. Mine said, I regret never facing my own fears and not doing what I always wanted to do. And Michael said, never too late. Chase your dreams. I just thought that was worth stating. Yeah,
definitely.
Chase your dreams, guys.
Just do it, guys. You only get one of these lives.
I think the beautiful thing about minimizing that so many people kind of overlook is that it's more than just minimizing, and it's more than just, you know, not spending unnecessary money and saving all of your money. It's about being not tied down, you know, having the ability to change things up and make a different decision and go a different way and not have all of these things that are going to be dependent upon that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like this decision is really just like we needed the money to ship ourselves and the bus back for 2 weeks in California, and both those things happen, and then we're Gucci and we're moving on.
Exactly.
It's kind of a big deal. We're leaving Hawaii, we're going back to California, but it's not really that big of a deal.
We plan on, the thing is if we were just going back, if we were like go back to live in rainy Pennsylvania right now in the dead of winter, we'd probably be pretty sad about this. But we're not going to go back and just do nothing. We're going to go back with a big plan. We're going to do a lot of awesome traveling. We're going to do, you know, we did West Coast Wandering last year. If you haven't seen that documentary, I took all the videos. It's probably like 30 videos, and I put them into 1 hour long video called West Coast Wandering. And if you haven't seen that, check it out.
I'll link it up after we're done here.
That was our last road trip. We didn't have the drone. We didn't have GoPro.
We didn't have our G7X.
The G7X, so we didn't have any image stabilization. We were shooting in 720p half the time. We didn't have the music we have now. We didn't have the know-how. I didn't have the editing
software.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely different.
And we were on a time crunch then. So we knew we had to be back to get married.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's all right, man. It's exciting. So now we're going to travel with no timeline, and that really changes everything. Just to go park on some BLM land and stay there until we're ready to go to the next spot.
And, you know, to be completely brutally honest,
we just had 100 people in here. I just want to say that's the most we've ever had. Sorry.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you being with us. Again, thanks, guys. But just to be completely honest, and this is absolutely, I'm only saying this because I know who our audience is. This is no shade on anyone or anything, anyone who chooses this lifestyle, but I will say that being on the property with this family and seeing how routine their life is, mainly because of the kids' school schedule. Things are just very kind of the same day in and day out, week after week after week. And I don't want that for us and our kids. Like there's something this entire experience has given me so much freaking gratitude for bus life. Like it's insane. Van life, whatever you want to call it. It's an amazing thing that we get to do now, having solar power, having the ability to work online and have Wi-Fi in all these remote places. Like we're really at the precipice of this opportunity being what it is, you know.
That's why it's so popular now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a beautiful thing. This earth is so gorgeous, and being able to meet up with different people across the world, across the US especially, that are like-minded to us, and we can just drive through your town and get a beer and swap stories is just a really special thing. And we're really excited to do that again.
Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you guys. I think probably in these live streams, I feel like we just talk about everything, but
yeah, it's like
at some point once we feel like our adventure is worth telling a story about, we're going to write a book
called
The New American Dream. Yeah. About our journey through finding minimalism, finding tiny living, finding the nomadic lifestyle, everything we've done. You know, we live on a multi-million-dollar piece of property right now. We have a view that people save their entire lives and half the time don't even achieve. We live somewhere right now that is absolutely
insanely beautiful.
We would never ever be able to have this property, but we took on a lifestyle that was completely different than most people. And because of that, we found ourselves here. And the fact is, we don't actually want the big house. And we don't want the amazing view if it means always being stuck at that view. We don't like having the choice is kind of amazing. And that's what we want to write our book about, is just our whole journey, and then going back and then continuing to do what we love to do. So what I'm trying to say is, eventually when we write this book, we want to release it and go on and travel to do a book tour. So we'll come to different towns and like do book signings and meet up with you guys.
Yeah.
And that's something that's going to be in the future, a little more distant future, a few years down the road.
Yeah, exactly. We're super excited about that. The Hadulas just said, I'm glad that you guys are planning on doing lots of collaborations. This community is pretty awesome. It is.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It is.
It really is. Like everyone's been really cool.
Jeffrey, if that's true, then my God. Anyway.
The Friends DVD. That's amazing.
Hi, Oshkosh. It's Josh. Anyway, guys, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah, it's pretty big news.
Doreen just said, so you are shipping the bus back to the mainland. I just tuned in.
Yes, we're shipping the bus back. We're headed back. We want to have a family. We just don't want to do it so far away from our family. And we've been here for 4 months, and we just feel like it's the time.
And I'm not gonna lie, people, I'm sure, how many of you guys in here watch Ginty Fell? Comment if you watch Ginty Fell. Do you know who she is? Have you watched her channel? If you don't, then you should, because they're a super cute family that live in Australia, and they are so inspiring. I feel like she's very spiritually aligned, you know, like with meditation and just the types of books that she reads. And I think that's what allows her to be able to enjoy the lifestyle so much. Just that humbleness. But yeah, she's really inspired me, I think both of us, to think that we could have a kid, not multiple kids, just one kid in this bus at some point in the future, and continue to travel the country and have a baby on board and a toddler on board. Yeah, we've even babysitting Sarah's little daughter, Elme. We've brought her down to the bus so many times, and just like seeing how she is in the space, I'm like, hell yeah, we can do that.
We can do this. Well, I mean, we'll have to baby proof some things. And we'll have to figure out a car seat situation. But
yeah, and that's not happening. Like that's not happening right away. But yeah, we need to be back in the US before that does happen. Back in the States.
I don't think anyone watches Ginty Fell. Jintifel.
You guys don't watch Ginty Fell?
She's a bus life.
Yeah, she lives in a bus.
She lives in a bus in Australia. She has over 500,000 subscribers. I guess that's why I subscribed. It's surprising. They
are the cutest little family. I follow her on Instagram too, and she really seems like such a genuine person. Love to meet her someday.
Anyway, so that's a decision that we've been coming to, and like we said, we talked about it on our podcast the other day. We're making ton of videos while we're going to be here. So we're only going to be here for a very short amount of time now. So we're making like 1 or 2 videos a day so that we can keep releasing to you guys.
Right. We so that those of you guys that are in this live stream right now will know what's going on. We're going to leave the live stream up for a little bit and then we're going to private it. So everyone else, all of our other subscribers will kind of find out about us shipping the bus back in the next like 2 weeks or so. But we're actually flying back this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
really soon.
We'll be back very soon.
Crazy. We kind of once we made the decision, then
the universe does the rest of the work.
Started
once you decide on something and then realize it's for the better for everybody in the situation and start to manifest it, the universe is just like, okay,
exactly.
Here's your tax return, get the bus back. Here's everything else you're gonna need. Oh yeah, here's $200 off because when you flew plane, just a couple $100 to help you with your flight. Like, yeah, these random little things started popping up and we're like, okay.
We just busted past. But yes, somebody had a heart attack on our flight from Seattle here. It was really scary.
So they had to turn the plane around and land it back in Seattle. And we had our cats
get off and wait for a couple hours and then get back off. But anyway, yeah, we got vouchers for that. And the gentleman was okay.
He was totally fine.
Like, did we just gloss over that real quick? Yeah.
So we got a couple $100. It was cool. No, he was all right.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, so we're super excited, guys. And yeah, if anyone lives in California and wants to pick us up from the airport at midnight,
you just let us know.
Coming Wednesday in 4 days from now, you guys should send me a little DM.
I'm curious. I wanted to see, now that we have 100 people in here, let me know if you're from California, because YouTube says that most of our
Do you not believe that's true? It's absolutely true.
I do believe it's true. I do believe that most of the people that watch our videos, but I don't know about in the live stream, I guess, because I haven't seen anyone say
Daniel Young's from the Sacramento area.
That's one.
Okay. We're flying. No.
Sacramento's not far from
we're actually, we're flying into San Francisco International, and then we're staying with friends who live in Tracy, California, which is like, I think it's like an hour drive from the airport. And we don't know how. We're trying to avoid spending like $150 on an Uber, so we will pay you to help us at that hour, but maybe you won't charge $150. Maybe we can give you like $50, $75. You know what I'm saying?
We're broke. We're poor people.
So we're not broke, but yes, we are. Yeah, don't say that stuff, baby. You like put it on us. Don't put that on us. I don't mind.
I'm not putting it on us. I'm saying by like the socioeconomical standards of humans.
Okay,
like we're there, but we love our life, and we've never been richer.
Mm-hmm. We have everything we need. However, we don't want to pay the inflated Uber costs at midnight.
Texas, Long Island, North Carolina, Virginia. Maybe they just don't talk. They just don't speak up. We know DeSova and Lanessa.
Free ride is done. Send info. Daniel, did you hear me say what time I'm talking about? I'm talking about midnight. I'm talking about we arrive at 11:55, sir. So if you're serious, then we will totally give you some money, give you an energy drink.
Let's email about this. Living Seal contact.
Or Instagram. Just saying.
That's so funny because you were like, well, just put it out to the channel.
That's what I said. I was like, maybe someone would be willing to help us out. We could give them a little bit of money and not give so much money to Uber. And Chad was like, no one's going to do that at midnight. And I was like,
111 people.
Maybe.
Smash that like button, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being in here.
If you like us, if you don't, whatever.
Okay, Daniel. All right, I'm gonna take this email. Just gonna copy and paste this a little.
But anyway, that's the big news. I don't know if there's really anything else going on in our life. Well, it's just getting weird.
I'm not kidding about this. I really did not want to pay that much money to an Uber driver. That did not sound like a good time.
Especially because they charge so much more from the airport.
There's also a fee for them to come to the airport. So it was literally going to be like $150 best case scenario. Yeah. Which is insane. That's more than our ticket was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's kind of cool. We're actually staying with some really, really great old friends. This is a person that my dad helped out when he lived in Mexico, who needed a helping hand. And he said, just come live with me for free. And now the favor's being flipped and he's helping us out with a place to stay.
Yeah.
So it's really cool how that happens generationally. And
it's so beautiful because they have a dog and a cat, and they also are, like I said, we're going to be in the basement, so we'll be able to separate our animals. But
they're so antisocial.
Yeah.
They hate other animals.
They do not like other animals. But it's beautiful that we have a free place to stay where we can hopefully, help them with like whatever they need help with. And also have our cats be able to stay with us.
Yeah, that was the hardest part about getting here, which is why we had to drive all the way to the East Coast and stay with my mom and then drive to Florida and all that, because we didn't have anywhere to keep the cats.
Yeah.
It's easy to ask a friend if you can crash on their couch or in their basement. Of course, everyone's like, yeah, totally, that'd be fun. But then you're like, yeah, and my 2 cats too. Right?
Not everyone wants to do that.
2 cats? No, nobody wants. Like what?
Yeah. Matthew Krulock says, have you guys read The Secret? So I actually have not read the entire book. We have watched the documentary on, I think it's just on YouTube. It's on Netflix too. But we had the actual book. Chad bought it for me. And then we had this really interesting encounter with this gentleman in Maui, like down in Kihei, the first time we were here. And he just like kind of told us his life story. And I just felt like he needed the book. So we gave it to him. And then we met up with him again. He was taking classes for this like criminal
kind of self-help. It was
and they talked about it in like the class that he had to attend.
I know about this.
Yeah, he was like, some people gave me the book, and he hadn't even read it, and that was like confirmation to him that he should go back and read the book we gave him.
Yeah, so it was really, really cool. He was a lost soul. He had a lot of people hurt him, and he was a musician and
been through a lot.
Has a YouTube channel with 4,000 subscribers that he just abandoned. And we were like, dude, pick that back up. Get back into your music. It's meant to be. It was like, and we were like, do you not know about The Secret? And started talking about manifesting and like.
His name was Obed.
Yeah, Obed.
Super,
hope you're watching Obed.
Kid. Yeah,
you're a great guy.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for being in here, Leonard.
Someone asked about the cats. The cats still have all their documentation, and it's not hard to get back to the mainland from Hawaii. It's only really hard to bring them to Hawaii from the mainland.
Yeah.
Because Hawaii has incredibly strict regulations on rabies. They don't have any rabies here, so they like to keep it that way, which is unbelievable with the amount of feral animals that they have here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But super easy to take them back. It's like Chad said, it was $100 for each of our plane tickets to go back because we got that $100 voucher. So it would have been $200 each, but it was $100. And then it's $100 for each of the cats to go back too. So $400 for all of us. And it's super simple process. Yeah, I don't even know if we need any documentation, but we're going to bring like all of our vet visits that were just taken a couple months ago in case they do need them. Kapow4 said, excuse a personal question, but how much do you really earn from YouTube as I'm an aspiring YouTuber?
It varies.
I will say really quick that we just recorded a podcast last night all about YouTube. And
we talk all about this.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that, I don't mean to be like advertising, but it's just $1 to become a patron and you can get all of our different podcasts. And we've talked about that a lot on there. But it totally varies. There's nothing I can do about it. Except for reset the connection. Should I do that? Or should I not even do that?
Let's just kick us off. 31. Everyone's leaving.
Frozen in time.
Leaving. Yeah, but it's totally fucked. We'll have to restart the whole internet.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, is it back on? Did you guys hear me swearing?
Yeah, I'm like, let's be a little calm, sir.
We just watched it go from 100 to 40. Actually, it went down to 30 some people, and I was like, what the? Oh, no.
All right, guys.
All right. Sorry, guys. We're using a hotspot from our phone to live stream to you, and well, that's a bummer. We just lost a lot of people, but we still have 45 of you.
Totally fine.
I kind of forgot what I was talking about.
I don't even know, but thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. And thank you for that sweet message, DeSofa. We were able to read that while we were down. We really appreciate that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
We've been inspired by you. And I honestly love telling people your story and how you've been able to take really horrible situations and do the greatest good for everybody. And it's just amazing. I don't know. I'm so inspired by you. So
yeah, and allow people to live on through you. That's kind of, yeah.
We got all the messages, so thank you guys.
Oh, my mom said.
Oh yeah, how much we make on YouTube? Thank you, Judy.
So I have some stuff to say about that. So you finish your
bottom
thoughts
line
first.
What I was saying is don't have expectations to make anything. Just keep making content, keep going, keep doing your videos that you're passionate about, and try not to look at the numbers until all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I just got a substantial amount of money in my bank account, because that's going to take a long time to get to. If it wasn't for people donating to us, I think we'd be at about $300 in AdSense.
And I will say that, like, even with people donating and even with the money we make on AdSense and from the ebook that we created a long time ago and made some money from, even that is still like less than half of what we used to make.
Way less than half.
When we were serving waiting tables.
We were making well, we had a combined income of about $110,000.
Yeah, before we went into this
waiting
lifestyle.
Tables and managing and stuff. And now last year
bills were way higher too.
Last year I think we made like $13,000 all year.
Yep. So that being said, we have talked about this a little bit before, and I really am feeling so passionate about it. I think that it's a hefty goal to go into YouTube and just be like, yeah, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to support myself from it. So I think lately we're trying to think about how we can diversify our income. There are a lot of different ways to make money on YouTube with like affiliate marketing and paid sponsorships, although we try to make paid sponsorships be kind of at a minimum, because a lot of the products for paid sponsorships like don't have anything to do with anything we would ever use.
Minimalists.
Yeah, so it's hard to do sponsorships for like just physical items, because it's like, well, we don't never use that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're serious about Living Zeal Photography, and in the next 2 weeks when we're back in this California waiting for our bus to arrive, we're going to really get the back end of Living Zeal Photography ready to go. And anyone could hire us for a photography job from Living Zeal, but ultimately we're going to be gearing towards wedding photography. So if you're getting married,
and that's another reason to travel. We're kind of I've always, before I met Zaynah, I was building out my step van conversion. That video has like 80,000 views, but the quality is unbelievably bad. So I know you guys have watched that video, and I recorded it on my cell phone before Living Zeal. That's why. It was so long ago. And I was going to be a traveling photographer and live out of my step van. And that was my aspiration before I even knew about Living Zeal and how I could take what I wanted to do with photography and translate it to making videos. And that's been my passion project, Living Zeal.
You're good at it.
But now we're to a point where it's like, thank you, baby. Now it's to a point where it's like, well, let's get back to that initial goal too and diversify a little more, because weddings, frankly, are extremely profitable.
That's why, really. Yeah. It's because it's something that we can do for like maybe a weekend and then go back into our bus and be editing all the images and editing the videos back off the grid or whatever, so that gives us an opportunity to make more money, to be able to travel more. And the big thing is we don't want to be in a position that we were in last time we were traveling in the bus, which was we didn't have enough money to be traveling long distances. So a lot of people would be like, why aren't you guys traveling more? And it's like, we can't afford to travel.
But if we're traveling for a $4,000 wedding, boom,
baby.
Yeah. Jeffrey, we'll have to get you our address when we actually have somewhere. In a month, we don't really know where we're going to be, but we'll let you know. Camera equipment. Someone asked about, let's see, Matt says, what kind of camera equipment will you use for professional photography / business and weddings? As of right now, I have a Canon 5D Mark I.
Awesome.
OG Canon. I got it when I went to photography school.
I need to stretch my legs out, baby. Sorry.
I also we have a Canon 70D. And we have a Canon G7X Mark II. The G7X Mark II, which is just a small point and shoot, is our main camera for Living Zeal. That's what we do all of our videos on.
We've pretty much taken all of the money that we have, except for what we need for like insurance, gas, and food, and reinvested it in upgrading our equipment.
We're about to do that one more time. Before we do weddings, I want to get 2 big pieces of equipment. Right now we have the DJI Mavic Pro drone, which is fantastic, but I want to do aerial photography at weddings. And in order to do that, I'll need the Mavic Zoom, because I don't want people hearing, so I'll have to pull back and zoom into the wedding.
Yeah.
So that's a piece of kit that I really want to get. And then the biggest one is we want to find a really nice used Canon 5D Mark IV.
And that's also for doing documentaries in the future.
4K video.
Yeah, it's really a really good camera, but it's also like super
If you know
expensive.
anything about cameras, it's like the best camera in the world.
Yeah, so that's something that we're manifesting, and we're going to try to see how we can facilitate that. But yeah, we will. I just want to reiterate, like, we'll never stop doing Living Zeal. We will be doing this until the end of time. That'll
even if we become
another...
like multimillionaires off of something randomly and have everything we'll ever need, we're not going to do this. That's why I was trying to say the best advice is just keep doing it. Because even when you get huge, we hear this from a lot of people. When you get huge, you don't need to make videos anymore. And it's like, well, that's why a lot of people stop and just ride it out. And we don't want to do that. We want to be like, it's a passion for us to constantly share our lives with you guys and inspire. So
yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was probably really loud.
Yeah, and I also think that something I would just genuinely, since we've been doing this for 18 months, I would say that rather than just saving a bunch of money and then going and traveling for 6 months on that saved money, I think that it's really good to be working while you're living in the bus and have some sense of normalcy in your day-to-day life, but you just live in a bus rather than just be like all you're doing is traveling or all you're doing is working. I know we talked to some people who plan on just saving money for part of the year and traveling for part of the year. And that, I mean, I'm not saying that's not a good idea. Just from my personal experience, I think it just helps to keep life normal when you're working every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So yeah.
Daniel said research the zoom more. It's good to know. I'll look into that because I love my Pro. And I was just thinking about maybe I could shoot in 4K and crop up to 1080 and that would be a zooming in.
Also,
that's a good idea.
yes. Also, we could use the drone for when we're just doing shoots of like the wedding party and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But I think what I just thought of was a really good idea. Shoot it in 4K.
Didn't he say that?
I don't know.
So someone said to crop it. Oh, the bus bomb said it crops 4K.
Yeah, I can shoot it in 4K and then I'll crop to 1080 and that'll be like a massive zoom in.
Yeah, Canon EOS 5D Mark V DSLR camera.
Body only, $3,000.
Only $3,000.
Body only. I know. That's why it's a big investment. That's something we're saving for. That's gonna really. I want to do. If you missed the beginning part of this documentary, first off, we're shipping the bus back from Hawaii to the mainland, and I want to start doing documentaries. There are two in particular that I really want to do. One where I follow my father's life after he ran out on my family before he died.
Get answers of like what he did in Mexico.
Doing, what his life was really like down in Mexico, and I'm actually we're getting ready to go stay with someone who was with him for years during that period of time. And I'm going to get a chance to interview them and start this documentary. But I really want to shoot it in 4K. And in order to do that, we'd have to have the Canon 5D Mark IV. We don't have to, but if we're going to spend money on a piece of equipment, that's one of the cool things about being a minimalist I found is we don't have a lot of things at all. Like we have everything we own is in this bus.
It's a beautiful thing.
But what we do have is top of the line because we can invest more in really nice stuff rather than having a bunch of crappy stuff.
And we are so good. Like we are so good about not spending our money on crap. Even food, we've gotten so much better about that. Like even when we first started living in bus life, we were a little bit more loose with what kind of food we bought. And now it's like, what do we need truly with every aspect of our life? What do we need? And that's the end of it. Only buy what you need. And if you do that, then you have money left over to do what you really want to do.
Sorry, I'm reading Daniel's comments. We're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's like absolutely insane. I didn't realize that you lived in California.
That's awesome. Yeah, we've been communicating with Daniel for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, that's so wild. Huh.
Michael, Michael says, I wish everything I owned fit in my bus. I'm getting there slowly. It was for us. I don't know how this is for everybody, but for us, it was a ripping the Band-Aid off kind of thing. Like,
and then we ripped it off a couple more times after we had been living in the bus and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm being suffocated by all this stuff.
Yeah, we over minimized and I have to buy some more shirts, to be honest.
Well, yes. But when we first moved into the bus, we had so much stuff, you guys, like in our last bus, all of the space under our bed was completely chock full of everything. And it took us probably 5 rounds of minimizing to get to where we are now, where it's like, we literally just have what we need. And yes, some of what we don't need, which Chad has about 2 shirts, and that's not a joke.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I have like 10 tank tops, but my tank tops like fold up really small. So I was like, well, I'm gonna keep these tank tops.
It's too many clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce your name, 007. We just woke up, man. It's only 8:00 here. Sorry if we look ragged. We just took showers last night, though.
It's actually 8:30.
We just took showers up at the house yesterday at about 5:00 when we were watching the baby.
Someone say we look ragged.
So we look like we need a bath. which is just a bedhead.
Excuse. Rude.
See what you look like right now. So Matt, we missed the beginning of the video. If you missed it, I just did a quick recap, but we are shipping the bus back from Hawaii next week. We'll be back in the States. We're going to be doing a lot of different little tours. We're going to try to stay south for the winter and north for the summer. And yeah, we'll be back in the States. There's a lot of reasons, but we'll leave this live stream up for a couple days for people who want to go back and watch the beginning.
I just want to say one other thing, that like another reason for not wanting to, I mean, whatever, I'm just going to say it. Another reason for wanting to not stay here for the next couple years and have a kid here is because once you come to Hawaii, you realize that this is not our land. Like, this is not our, what happened to the Hawaiian people is really, really sad. And they are still very bitter about it. So I think it's
America's all right. So
they don't.
We really like to
want you here.
Yeah, we really like to forget about stuff in America. We really like to kind of brush it under the rug and forget about it. We're really, really good at that.
Generation to generation, those homies know.
There are songs on the radio that are straight like
today, like being
made
today.
The island from the white man, like straight
reggae
up,
songs.
Like
you're like, wait, what?
Like they don't forget.
But it's true.
This is their land. We came. For those of you who don't really know the story, there was a queen who was overseeing all of the islands.
King Kamehameha?
I think it was Queen Kalana, something different. It was King Kamehameha.
Oh,
I don't
King
think.
Kamehameha.
Anyway, so the U.S. military just decided that we were going to put a bunch of soldiers on the island. So we set up a base and put them on the island and waited for the right moment. And then those soldiers went up into the castle and overthrew the queen and took over. Basically just with their guns and said, all right, you're done. Step down. It's our island now.
Obviously to have this as like a military.
It was so traumatic for the people of the island. Here's how they used to live. When they heard that the land wasn't theirs, they didn't know how to conceive that because the land was everybody's. No one owned land on Hawaii. Not even the native Hawaiians didn't say, this is my land. They didn't try to plot out an area and say, this is mine. Mm-hmm. It was everybody's. So when America came in and we're like, this is ours now, they were like, what do you mean? That doesn't even make sense. It's land. It's not anybody's. Like, it was not a concept that they could even conceive of. And so a lot of them just got completely kicked out of all of their homes. It's really tragic. Sad. Yeah. Hana is one of the only parts of the island that is still Hawaii.
Old Hawaii. And it's crazy because it's like one of the most beautiful parts of the island. We've only gone to Hana twice, and like that's it. They really don't want you to come over there. Truly. Like, we try to spend as much money when we're in Hana, like at the local grocery store and stuff, to try to at least contribute our dollar to their economy there. But we totally understand, and I'm not saying that in like I don't get it, because I totally get it.
There's a lot of prejudice here towards us, and we get it.
Specifically towards white men.
Specifically towards me. There have been times where I haven't gotten any service.
Multiple times.
And I'll
Which
be standing
is fine.
right there,
we understand.
just watching it in the back, just laughing, because I'm like waiting for someone to give me service, and they'll walk around me to help it, like a native Hawaiian lady.
Another interesting thing that we just found out was that in Hawaii, before Americans took it over, and yeah, I know people would say like Mexico would have taken it over.
It was a war.
It doesn't matter
in a war, essentially.
Who took it over. It's still fucked up, and it's really sad, but it is what it is. Anyway, something really sad is that the local Hawaiians used to they were able to grow enough food for everyone who lived on all the Hawaiian islands, and they were able to sustain themselves fully from here. Now, guess how long it would take for us to run out of food if ships stopped coming in from the mainland. Guess how long it would take.
How long, babe?
1 week. It would take 7 days for
the entire island to be depleted.
All the islands to be completely depleted of food.
And they used to be self-sufficient. That's what we've done.
Because a lot of the produce and stuff is exported from Hawaii. So
anyway,
yeah,
I guess what we're trying to say is we don't really feel welcome here, and we totally understand.
And we don't want.
That's another reason we're like, all right.
We don't want to have a baby here and be like, you were born in Hawaii, like you're a local Hawaiian, because no, they're not. Like, we need to go back to like Colorado or Virginia or where we're actually from, and yeah.
Anyway, so that was that rant. Come to Hawaii and you'll see what we mean. The best way to talk about the islands, unless you're in Oahu, which is a little different, but Maui, Kauai,
very
the other
small
islands,
town feel.
They feel like a third world country with first world amenities.
Totally.
Like truly. It's like a third world country that got like a layer of paint on it, and now they're calling it a tourist area. It's kind of crazy. Come experience that.
Yeah, Andrew was talking about Guam, saying that there are places in Guam that you don't go unless you're invited by a local.
Same here.
So a lot of it is just we have a lot of respect for trying to not be American privileged white people who are adding to the problem that already exists here. And we're so honored and grateful to be able to have experienced this land for the past 4 months and experience this beautiful island of Maui. And I'm sure we'll be back to the Hawaiian Islands at some point because we still want to go to Kauai. But yeah, we don't want to live here. We don't want to live here permanently.
No. Sarah says, too bad you can't do a documentary with locals on their flight. That's true. I thought about that, and in fact I even have some content when we were out and about. I recorded content of me like talking about certain areas that we were at, like that one on that big hike that we walked through remains of a whole village that got chased out, and it just never made it to Living Zeal, but it would be really cool to do a documentary about that. I think that there are too many places in this world that share a similar parallel to that story, and that's how so many countries have taken over. It's just like, why do you feel entitled? I mean, America was built on entitlement. All of the country, Australia's story cracks me up because it's literally like England ran out of places for all their prisoners. So they had to send their prisoners to an island. And that's what started Australia. It's always like people just being gross, And it just really frustrates me. And that's why we live in a bus.
Yeah, exactly. Never say never end. Yes, we are shipping the bus back to the mainland. And Guy Scratton, read his comment if you guys are interested in more of the details. We don't know like the exact specifics of things. I certainly don't have them memorized. But we've definitely had multiple conversations with local Hawaiians, and it's very
wow. Sad. Dole Corporation. See, that's crazy. That's amazing. Guy, that's really cool. Thanks for those facts.
Have you guys seen, my brother sent me this post the other day about how, I mean, this is not really new, but how the U.S. The U.S. government is really cracking down on tiny houses, not just people living nomadically in vehicles, because we already know that's pretty much illegal everywhere. Not everywhere, but a lot of places in the U.S. But now, like, tiny houses, it's like, what? Does that make any sense? There's not enough housing for people. Housing is so freaking expensive. So many people are homeless, and literally, like millennials, for example, can't afford to put money down on a house. So they're all going into living in vehicles. And then the government makes it harder and then says people can't live in tiny houses. How stupid is that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's so dumb.
Regulation that people just have to bend over to. It's like I can't just build an edifice and then say it's my house and just live there. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I understand there being regulations for things like sewage and gray water and black water and all that kind of stuff, that there need to be regulations in place so that people don't get sick. But
yeah,
they should be making it easier for people to live tiny. It's good for everyone.
And the places that they are doing it, it's working very well. Like they have that retirement facility in
North Carolina.
In Denver now. They have 100 tiny house facility where I think it's retired. It might even be homeless people.
I think the one that you're thinking of is for
straight homeless people.
I thought there's one in North Carolina. I think there's one in California that is for people that are homeless, but gives them an ability to have a tiny home. And then the one in Denver, I think, is for veterans.
Yeah,
really cool.
But see, like David of the North says, Texas has several tiny house villages. That's what I'm saying. The places that you can do it, it's working incredibly well. People are living sustainably with lower carbon footprint, minimally. You can put 10 tiny houses where you could put one mansion, and it's like, it's always the money. It's exactly right. I think it was Michael said something about the money being the issue, and of course it's always the issue. It's always regulation based around greed, based around how can we make money from these people, how can we regulate them, how will we know what they're doing. We can't let people go off the grid. We won't be able to keep track on them,
right?
And it's like, it's so ridiculous. For one, because they'll always have us. We have an iPhone. We're on the internet right now. Like, they'll always have us. We can go as off grid as you want, but you're never away from. If you have technology in your pocket, you're never away. You're never really off the grid.
Right.
But two, it's just stupid regulation. Sorry, this is something I feel passionate about. I don't want to get too much of a rant.
Roland Rockster said, "What are they doing to make it so hard?" I don't know, like the specific regulations in each individual state. The one that my brother was sending me information about was in Idaho. And I think it's just that they're making it like literally illegal. They won't approve people who, let's say, purchase a small plot of land and want to build a tiny house on it. And in a lot of places that we found when we were looking at buying land in Colorado 6-8 months ago, was that the minimum square footage for a house had to be like 600 square feet in order to build a house there.
Right. They'll do things like they'll make it so you have to have a septic on your land, meaning you can't just have everything in your tiny house and have your gray water and all that.
Yeah.
So if you live somewhere, if you do in Colorado, a lot of places you have to build a septic, or they'll make it so that you can't be off the grid. You have to have power. You have to have this or that, so that a tiny house then becomes, I guess obviously you could have a septic and hook your tiny house up to it, but then it's kind of, you spend $25,000 putting a septic into your property just to put a tiny house on it. It feels a little counterproductive.
It does. Daniel Young, there's this lookout point in San Francisco that's like, I can't remember what it is, but it's like a rest area
right on the north side of the bridge. Yeah.
And that's like one of the most beautiful places we've ever went in our conversion. And actually San Francisco was one of the most friendly places for us to be in our bus conversion, which sounds kind of crazy because it's a city, but
we loved San Francisco. We can't wait to go back and do bus life there again. We did it in the short bus, so we know that we can do it in this bus. And yes, please watch. Thanks for moderating. Yeah. West Coast Wandering. If you want to see what our life was like traveling before and when we were much less seasoned. Now it's going to be very different, but that's a little taste.
We're going to have a lot less run-ins with the cops. We're going in this with a completely different mindset. We're like, BLM land is going to be our paradise as long as we have Wi-Fi.
See, Dave says Michigan requires you to hook up on the grid. Exactly.
Yeah.
Some places are like, sure, you can have a tiny house.
Thanks, Mom. She said I'm gorgeous and you're handsome.
Aw, thank you so much, Judy.
Thanks.
We can't see you, but I'm sure you're looking gorgeous too. Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, just for people who are just in here.
Vista Point. That's right, Doug. Sorry.
It's okay. We're still going to stay in here for a hot sec because we have 100 people in here. But for those of you that are new, we are shipping our bus from Maui back to California, to Oakland, actually. And we're doing it this next week.
And then we're going to start doing meetups. We're going to be a guest on someone else's podcast. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
We'll record that for the channel. We're also going to do as many collaborations as we can and start living photography. And I am going to get into documentary filmmaking.
Lost and bored. Why am I watching you guys?
I don't know. Leave.
You can leave. It's okay. Don't watch if you don't want to watch. No worries. Yeah.
If you don't know what our channel's about, yep. Thank you.
Arizona and New Mexico, me mindset, are the most vagabond friendly.
We hear Arizona.
On Arizona.
Arizona has the meetups. We're going to be chilling in Arizona for a little while. That's where the podcast is happening. So that's going to be that's going to be one of the first places we're headed to is Arizona.
For sure.
We're also trying to dodge the cold. We don't want to do the cold in the bus. So.
And to be honest, like it's cold here. Like last night got down to at least 45, which isn't that cold, but it felt really cold.
Never say never. We really, really want to come to Portland. They have an amazing vegan restaurant scene, and Zaynah wants to hit that up. So.
I need to just save like a few $100s just to take on Portland properly.
Yes, we'll definitely let you know.
With food.
We'll definitely be hitting you up. We want to meet up with everybody, everybody.
So here's my idea. You guys tell me what you think. So as some of you know, I have created a second channel and I haven't really been sure which direction I want to take it because in a lot of ways I want it to be more just like based off my writings and like really cool imagery. So instead of just vegan videos, but vegan videos are like a lot of the videos that I watch. Anyway, I'm thinking it would be really cool to start making that channel around like trying some of my writings and then also trying vegan restaurants across the country. Wouldn't that be cool? Like doing reviews of vegan,
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Of vegan restaurants because I love food.
She just wants to get free food.
I love vegan food. I love going to vegan restaurants more than anything in the world. Like the things that people do to make vegan
really cool,
cuisine is like insane.
People can do crazy stuff with like cauliflower and
mushrooms.
All these really humble ingredients. So I've been inspired. But
anyway, that used to be something I did all the time when I worked in the restaurant industry. I would go out to eat. When I lived in Florida, I would drive to Miami, up to Orlando, anywhere to go to a new vegan restaurant. And it was so fun. So I'd really like to do that.
Yeah.
The next Antonia Bourdain. Sure. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes.
I think that would be really cool. You know what? Boom.
We have a lot of good plans. Anyway, I think we're probably gonna wrap this up.
I feel so bad leaving. There's so many people here.
Yeah, I know, but I'm really hungry.
Do you want to get some cereal going?
We don't have any cereal.
Yes, we do.
We ate it all last night, didn't we?
No, we still have a little bit.
Okay. Might have some cereal.
Francis with an E said you guys didn't ship your last bus to Maui. I'm assuming shipping from Maui is easier.
Much easier and much cheaper. You can't ship an already converted vehicle to Maui. You can only ship bone stock to Maui. So we had to sell it and got this one over here. This bus is still only like halfway done. We have a lot of work to do.
Yes, exactly. Just wanted to say I'm reading all the comments, so if I haven't mentioned all of your names, thank you.
Lost and bored feels ignored.
Don't ignore me. Well,
what was your comment? We must.
He was the one who said, "Why am I watching you guys?" No, okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna ignore you if that's the case. I don't know why you're watching us. We asked you to leave if you don't like us.
We're a little sensitive, guys.
Want to do my homework?
Chef says, well, I'm going nomad because retirement costs too much to rent. I will save $1,000 a month going to be hanging out West Arizona in winter. I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I really do. You know, it's so funny living in this bus. Like, you just realize what you can live with and without. And I've never lived in a more incredible home than this home right now. Truly.
That's the coolest thing is no matter where you are, I know if you live in a van or a bus, you can totally agree with this and relate. Mm-hmm. No matter where you are at night, when you close up the blinds and turn on the lights, it's your home and it's your space, and it always feels the same. And sometimes that's why nights are Zaynah's favorite time, because all the stresses of worrying where you are, where you're going to be, all that kind of stuff, you just close it up and you're in your little space and it's your home.
Nighttime, and then as soon as we wake up in the morning and open our blinds and remember where we are.
Yeah. Sometimes I remember in the bus several occasions I would wake up in the middle of the night and have no idea where we were. I would completely forget where we were because we'd move around almost every day. And it's like, where am I? And I'd look out the window and be really confused.
Yeah.
I'd be like, where? And then it would dawn on me, like, oh, okay, that's right. I'm here.
He's a little delirious at nighttime.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes it would be pitch black and I would wake up and freak out because it's pitch black. I'm like, what? Why can't I see anything?
Me Mine says it's $180 for a 7-month permit for BLM land.
Cool.
As far as I know, BLM land is free. So
for a 7-month period, though, not all BLM land's free.
Joey Boa.
That's why we got in trouble in Utah. Remember, we got that ticket.
Do I know you? I don't know if that's the exact same last name. I used to work with someone named Joey and had a last name that was very intense, like your last name, and it started with the B. I don't know. Do I know you? Did I used to work with you, Joey? Okay, I know. I'm getting hungry too. We also if we don't have any cereal, we don't have anything to eat except for soy milk. We might have to go to the grocery store.
I think we're gonna have to go to the grocery store, guys, in the rain. It's raining right now. It's really gross.
This is like, we ran out of coffee yesterday, and Chad, as soon as he woke up this morning at like 6 a.m., Joey, it's you! Hi!
In Foco.
Cool. That's crazy. I know exactly who you are.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. But yeah, Chad woke up this morning really early and was like, I have to go to the grocery store to get us coffee. Do we need anything else? And I was like, hey, we have this really old bag of coffee in the back of the drawer down there from about 3 months ago. Why don't we just use that? So that's what we're drinking.
It's gross. It was like this flavored coffee. It tasted like chocolate milk. I gave it to Zaynah. She's like, oh, chocolate milk. This will be good. It's not good. I'm really tired.
But honestly, this live stream has like got me going. So
more people have ever had in here on this stream, guys. Thank you. This is awesome. We're so glad you're here.
We're actually trying to. I have a goal that when we get back, I want to get off coffee again, because we stopped drinking coffee for the longest time. We were just doing black tea in the morning, which, I mean, obviously it still has caffeine in it, but it made me a little less like, you know. So yeah. I kind of feel like we'd like to. I honestly would love to be an individual who doesn't need caffeine.
Yeah, we really want to just start drinking like good herbal tea in the morning.
Rooibos.
Yeah, rooibos tea, some red tea, and get going. Because coffee, you know, you rely on it too much, and then it makes you crash, and then it speeds up your metabolism too much. It's just all a mess.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes when I don't have coffee first thing in the morning, I'm really tired when I wake up, but then after like an hour or two, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Okay, guys. Well, Chad's hungry. I'm hungry. We're about to be hit at 1:11, so
that's a good time for us to end this. It's hard for us to end with 106 people in here because that's more we've ever had.
I
but
really don't want to get
really
off
hungry
right
and I kind of need to pee. So
okay.
Glad you guys were here.
Cool. Well, we're going to post the new episode of the podcast on Patreon right now. I'm just going to say it because this is part of the way that we support ourselves and we're going into bus life full time, guys. So if you want to head to Patreon, it's $1 to join. You can pledge as much as you'd like every single month, but we're doing weekly podcast episodes and we just are going to be uploading our 4th installment of the podcast.
And it's kind of a library now. There's also like 15 behind the scenes videos.
Yeah.
There's so much content now that we've made for Patreon that you just get for $1.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's something that you might be interested in, I will link that up down below. It's also linked up in all of the description boxes of all of our videos. And we really appreciate you guys supporting us over there.
Gulf Coast Wandering, I like that.
Cool.
Cool. Well, Daniel, we'll link up with you. Thank you so much for that offer, and we'll be in touch.
Thanks for being in here, Joey. So fucking cool.
Oh, Jinxie just got in. We're about to head out, Jinxie, but it's great to see you. I'm glad you made it. We're gonna leave this up for a few days, so make sure you go back and watch it. We got big news. What kind of mileage do we get in the van? Like 10.
I can't leave.
Well, we're going to get out of here, but it has been a blasty blast, and we will see you next Sunday.
Go over to Instagram stories. We're going to be Instagram storying it. And bye.